Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Powley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight, we're going to be discussing a fragrance that is possibly the most reviewed, the most talked about, the most praised, and at the same time, most criticized scent ever produced. This is Creed Aventus, which came out in 2010. This is a Chypre fruity fragrance. This is not to be mistaken for another Creed fragrance, which is a Aventus Cologne, which is a much lighter fragrance, which came out in 2018. So tonight I'm going to attempt a very level-headed approach at discussing this fragrance. I'm not going to try to go to polar opposites. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion on this. This is the third bottle of this fragrance that I have bought over my lifetime. I'm a firm believer with niche fragrances and expensive fragrances that you buy them from a reputable source, which often means paying full price. With performance-wise, I've never had problems with any of my Creed Aventus bottles. So also, this is one of my most complimented fragrances. Women really like this fragrance. It has a very great scent wafts, very great scent trails, and a scent bubble. But it has many detractors. Some people call it the fragrance of pimps, a tracksuit fragrance. But there's others that call it a fragrance of kings. So there is a wide range of opinion on this fragrance. Personally, I really like it. It would not be considered my favorite Creed fragrance, but it would definitely be in the top 4 or 5. So I'm going to take it. Took it out of the package, give it a spray. It has a very great sprayer. So initially, you get somewhat of a sharp, fruity scent that I get pineapple with some black currant, which is a very, very appealing opening. As it dries down, it becomes smoother, more smoky. You still get the fruitiness, and it's woody, but it's incredibly appealing in a manner that it's pleasant and it's mass. It's for the masses. It is not really, even though it's a niche fragrance, it doesn't necessarily have any qualities that would make it a niche fragrance. It has more of a designer appeal to it. Later on, this fragrance becomes a little more musky. You get some of the vanilla. It's still woody and fruity, but the dry down is very, very good. I would not consider this an overly complex fragrance. I would say it's very linear. It doesn't change too much from the initial spray to the later dry down. As advertised, the top notes are pineapple, bergamot, apple, and black currant. The mid notes are birch, patchouli, Moroccan jasmine, and rose. The base notes are musk, vanille, ambergris, and oak moss. So there's 2 notes I just want to briefly discuss about this fragrance that some people may not know what they are. The first one is ambergris. So this is a synthetic kind of musk amber animalic note that actually originates from the intestines of sperm whales, but it is now synthetic. It has kind of a warm, salty, sun sea vibe to it. The other note is bergamot. Bergamot is a citrus note. So the smell of bergamot would be something that is citrusy, bitter, tart, mildly spicy, and can sometimes contain notes of other fruits. But it is considered a more complex note. So with final thoughts on this fragrance, should one buy it? That's always the question. Or should one buy one of the many, many clones out there of Creed Aventus? I would say it's not whether it's worth it to buy it. It's whether you can afford it. Because I definitely think there is a difference between Creed Aventus and the clones out there. But are you willing to pay the price for it? That's the question at hand. I think if you can afford it, I do think it's worth it. But always try before you buy. I firmly believe in buying from a reputable business because I think there are many fakes out there and people that talk about these miserable performing Creed Aventus bottles. I think that they may not get an authentic one because I don't think the performance would really be that bad where they say it evaporates off their skin in 10-15 minutes. Possible, but unlikely. I still think this is an excellent fragrance. and it is still superior to the many clones in the sense that this has a more natural scent to it. The other ones could be more synthetic. The clones are more synthetic, more harsh, and they don't have as good of a dry down. But I would say in the case of our moth, they do have some that are very, very good and close, but it's never exact because it doesn't have the same ingredients. It isn't as natural, more synthetic. Again, the choice is yours on this one. Always try before you buy, especially when you're spending the kind of money for this guy. Performance-wise, for me, I got about 6 hours. If need be, you can reapply. I said, again, great compliment getter. The ladies love it. It has great sillage, especially for the first 3 hours, more than arm's length projection. So it has very good performance, I found, in all 3 bottles. But when you read the reviews online, people have wildly different experiences with this fragrance. Mine have all been positive. I think it's a great fragrance. I wouldn't say that it is Creed's best. I would say it's maybe in the top 5, but there are ones that I like better. And I think something that has devalued Aventus over time is the fact the amount of clones that have come out have in fact kind of bastardized Creed Aventus, which is very unfortunate. And in the fragrance industry, cloning in many other industries wouldn't be allowed to this extent. I really don't know sometimes how some of the companies get away with producing something that is that close to an original, more niche fragrance. But anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. If you have any comments or questions or experiences with the legendary Creed Aventus, leave them down below and I'll always get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.